Those tanks look kind of tough, don't they? I guess you think you wouldn't have much of a chance up against those babies. Well, you're wrong, see? Tanks got weak points like anything else. The track is one of them. A mine, or a shell, or a lucky hit with a grenade can blast off the track. And to the guys inside, a busted track in battle is usually good for a $10,000 check to the folks back home. Sure, they still got firepower left. But they can't move. And when they're standing still, they make a target that's hard to miss. Now, here's another weak point. We don't see too good out of these rolling pillboxes. So we keep the flaps open down here for the driver and the hatch open for the tank commander. That is, we keep them open if the enemy's dumb enough to let us. If he's half smart, he'll turn a stream of rifle or machine gun fire at us. Then we gotta button up. Now, we don't like that, because that leaves us practically blind. That's if you get yourself in a lather and start to hightail it. And that's just what those Nazi gunners are waiting for. Take a look for yourself. Now, remember that picture when you get itchy feet. Make a break for it and you're a dead duck. You stick with me and I'll give you the real dope on what you ought to do. Thought that guy was a goner, didn't he? He wasn't worried. He knew he had a good foxhole, but he's mad now. See what he's got there? A Molotov cocktail. Light the rag, heave the bottle so it busts on top of the tank. And this is what you get. A little piece of hell on the outside, and on the inside, a lot of barbecued hidey. You see, the burning gas pours through cracks and crevices in the tank. 9 times out of 10, it'll find oil or grease or more gas inside. And if it does, well, you want to take a look inside?
Now let's take a look at some more tricks you can use to knock off tanks. What's making this bird stop dead in his tracks? A couple of rows of tin cans set up like 10 pins across the road? Well, put yourself in the place of that tank crew. How do they know if those cans are mines or a fake? The tank commander's got 2 choices. That's one of them, to investigate the situation. With this sort of payoff. The other is to back up and hunt for another route. And that baby isn't backing up far. Not with our tank hunters closed in for the kill. Here's another problem. The enemy tank that's run out of gas, fouled its track, or stalled because of engine trouble. This baby can't travel, but he's well protected, concealed from plane attack, and still plenty dangerous. He'd be a setup for a tank destroyer. Let's see how tank hunters would handle it. They're a little too far for a rocket grenade because the branches of the tree may deflect the rocket. So they split up to attack the tank from 2 sides. 2 men with a launcher, the 3rd man on his own. A carbine shot at the tank commander drives him down into the turret. While their teammate attracts the tank's fire, the grenade crew sprints to another piece of cover closer to the tank. Their partner again draws the tank's fire away from their area. And the turret guns swing away. The man with the rocket launcher breaks cover and makes a final dash to get within bazooka range of the tank. Now he's close enough to make sure of a hit. and it's out of the scrap and into the scrap pile. A tank crossing this clearing would probably steer for that gap. Here's a trick you can use to put it out of commission. Several anti-tank mines tied together with wire, like this, and carefully camouflaged are a dead-end tank stopper. This works best in defiles or on a narrow road through heavy woods where the tank has to stick close to one route. These men have to work fast. The enemy tank they've spotted is already heading across the field toward the gap in the wall. The trick is to wait till the tank is so close that the string of mines is inside its dead space. Now let them have it. That tank won't go far.
Take a look at this German tank outfit. They're coming your way, so you got a job to do before you get back to that dame in Brooklyn. They're still 2 or 3 miles away. You can't even see them yet. But remember, you're playing on a big team, soldier. And you got lots of stuff working for you.
It's slowed down by gullies and trees. It has to fight its way through swamps and thickets. And it has to batter and grope its way through and around 1,000 obstacles. Buttoned up, a tank is 9/10 blind. Plant yourself in the driver's seat and take a look. And this is what it sounds like with the engines turning over. 9/10 blind and stone deaf. Practically all tanks have a basic structural weakness. Their hull guns are fixed and can only fire forward. A variety of weapons, from machine guns to cannon, is mounted in the revolving turret. Tank hunters, get this. It's perhaps the most important thing for you to remember. When that turret swings, the guns inside it are fixed and have to swing with it. If the turret is pointing to the left, it can only fire to the left. So this tank can't fire in all directions at the same time. And even with a power-driven turret, it takes a few seconds to turn from one side to the other. Those few seconds are all a skillful tank hunter needs to get in close without coming under fire. Any area not covered by fire at a particular time, or that can't be covered by fire, is called dead space. The guns on a tank can't be depressed far enough to cover the ground close into the tank. That gives us a circular dead space around the tank with a radius of about 20 feet. Still another mechanical weakness of tanks is that the maximum elevation of their guns is only about 25 degrees. Therefore, they can't hit any close-in targets that are above this highest line of fire. For example, men on the roof of a nearby house. Or on top of a high embankment.
Now let us assume that the tip of my stick actually represents the nose of the bullet, and the remainder of my stick the path of the bullet. A strike, head on, to 30 degrees, above or below, or on either side, will result in a penetration. What we want to avoid, however, is the glancing blow, like this, where the bullet will bounce off when clear. Now, a bullet glancing in that way may result in penetrating a little way, but it will be held up by the thickness of the metal. I think that's all I can tell you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sergeant Major.
Okay, now you can start working on it. You see those lugs sticking up out of the hatches, don't you? I'll make them button up. They're close enough now. 400 yards. Well, suppose they are 500. That's the idea. See them ducking in? Now make them button up those flaps. There they go. See them slow down right away? They got to. They can't see worth a damn. Wait a minute, soldier. Keep that rifle up there. See these things? Those are what he looks through. The periscope and the vision slits. Get enough small stuff bearing on those places and you blind him almost 100%. Okay, that's your first job. Button him up, then work on his vision devices. Now he's getting plenty close. Plenty. Where's that rifle grenadier? Oh, yeah, there he is. Now, these rifle grenades are nasty damn things. As far as a tanker is concerned, they just plain stink. I'd rather be in a straitjacket with a wildcat than be inside the box with those things coming at me. They bore through and splash hot metal all over the place. And they'll do that to any damn tank they've dreamed up so far. You guys have got a grenadier in every squad. That's a lot of grenadiers, if anybody should ask. You grenadiers, wait until you see the whites of his eyes, like the guy said. Then pour it into him. That'll knock out plenty of them. But there's still plenty left.
Whether in large-scale warfare or in the tense and dangerous world of the guerrilla fighter, it is always the man with a rifle who has the last word. Everything depends on him. A rifle, like any other weapon, is only as good as the man who uses it. Properly trained and employed, the rifleman is, in effect, the ultimate weapon.
The plan should be simple. The execution should be accomplished with speed and surprise. And the search should be systematic and thorough. These and other actions portrayed in this film are vital to the success of a raid and search operation.
Whether you're checked before you leave or on the other side, the principle is always the same. The most unimportant detail may be the most important. When you get your hair cut, be sure it's enemy area style. The hands must look as if they've done the work. Every scar must conform with your cover story. Clothes may not necessarily make the agent, but they surely break the agent if they aren't checked and rechecked.
That clinches it. If there's anything a native likes, it's the white man's magic medicines and drugs. Now, how about getting down to business?
You know government man? Government man?